There was a time when life felt like one long day. Part summer, part fall, with hints of winter and spring tucked in between. And few TV shows captured the strange, looping magic of the seasons quite like The Adventures of Pete and Pete. The Adventures of Pete and Pete started out as short clips on Nickelodeon around 1989 and eventually aired as a full TV series from 1993 to 1996, but with reruns it kept going right up until the new millennium.
Drink that. It's milk.
For kids growing up in that era, Pete and Pete wasn't just another show. It was a surreal, suburban daydream. Funny, strange, and uniquely honest about what it felt like to be young in a world that was both ordinary and extraordinary at the same time. And even though its stories could have taken place anywhere, there was something unmistakably New Jersey about it. New Jersey was perfectly positioned between small-town America and the edge of a big city, and Pete and Pete captured that balance beautifully. It was weird, heartfelt, and completely real. Just like growing up here. These are the filming locations for The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
This is Wellsville, my hometown. In a lot of ways, Wellsville is like most towns in America.
The first stop is the original Wrigley House, used in season 1. Now, there was actually 3 separate Wrigley houses used during filming, and this particular one was in Leonia, New Jersey. You can still see the same spot on the roof where Mrs. Wrigley once threatened to electrocute herself using lightning and the metal plate inside her head. It's surreal standing there realizing how much of the show's suburban weirdness played out on such ordinary streets. Eventually, I heard the sound of what sounded like the call of Mr. Tasty. As it approached, I knew it was time to head out.
But unfortunately, the guy who runs the place, my dad, wouldn't take no for an answer.
To a golf course used in the episode Range Boy. The layout here looks as you'd expect, and remarkably, the course itself hasn't changed much at all. I was able to match up a few shots.
Beware the duffer! Beware the duffer!
Cash prize this year.
Yeah, it's mine. I've been working on my visualization techniques.
The bus driver, Stu Benedict, is preparing to tee off. Stu, who's been pretty depressed since his girlfriend left him over nothing.
And I was also able to get some exterior shots from the closing moments of the show. Next up was Veterans Stadium in Bayonne, New Jersey. This spot showed up in a few classic episodes. Day of the Dot and Valentine's Day Massacre and a couple others. I always referred to it as the one with the dead squid.
They killed an innocent squid.
It felt like that episode was always on TV back in the day, so being here was pretty wild to me. Growing up, I never realized that this field sits along the water, with bridges right across the bay and cities in almost every direction.
What is this?
Of course, I had to try to recreate the shot of Pete and Ellen with their teachers saying goodbye on the field. But the field was in use and I didn't want to impede on anything, so I did my best with it.
Well, I guess we don't have our big secret anymore.
There'll be other secrets, Pete. I just know there will.
You can even catch glimpses of the baseball diamond in some of those same scenes. And yep, I tried to get as close as possible to the 50-yard line where they buried the squid.
But I guess I just wasn't ready.
The shots by the water were filmed here, as well as the janitor's exterior shed was also located at the same field.
Looking back, he must have felt pretty torn up inside. But I did too. We were more than halfway through the school year.
Oh, you crazy man. You didn't notice her. Well, you must be blind.
After that, we swung by Bayonne High School right down the street, and you could actually see it directly from the field in plenty of these shots. This school was used for plenty of the show's interior scenes, but they also used the exterior a couple of times. Then we approached season 2. It was off to Mr. Lerkner's house, the grumpy neighbor who was always feuding with Mr. Wrigley. Right next door to him was the home of one of my favorite characters, Nona Mecklenburg, with her cast and all. Her introduction episode is classic Pete and Pete. It's awkward, heartfelt, and weirdly profound. This was also the neighborhood used for the classic Hey Sandy music video, which might just be one of the greatest TV songs of all time.
Centuries. What happens when a humidifier and dehumidifier are turned on at the same time?
Danny Tamborelli and Michael Maroney even talked about this street at a live show I went to. Apparently, during the Halloweeny episode, they caused so much chaos and made such a mess that the crew had to find a new neighborhood after that.
Some like mini doc thing, what was it called? Big Story or something like that. And they brought us back to South Orange, and they let us sit in front of the house. And the lady across the street had straight up PTSD because she had been there the whole time and saw us. She's like, "We said you guys can't be here anymore."
She remembered us.
She did.
Like the first season neighborhood, it was quiet and unassuming. The perfect location and quintessentially New Jersey. The episode that introduces Nona Mecklenburg to the show also features two of my favorite and what I feel like are the two most iconic shots in the series. When Nona is putting up individual photos of her old house to cover her current house, and when Pete pushes the Statue of Liberty up through the grass. I think this episode, more than any others, really encapsulated what it was like growing up in New Jersey during the summer. And even though I think Pete and Pete is quintessentially a fall show, they also did other seasons just as well. Next, we visited the Belleville Little League field, home of the Field of Pete episode. I swear that was another one that was just run constantly when I was a kid.
Hey, better. Hey, sebaceous bloody sputum eater!
Still at 3, you're out.
The seasons of the year, they come and go. Continents drift, ice caps melt, entire species disappear. Everything is always cheap. We were on the same side again. I guess you could say that together, we saved the game of baseball that day. Maybe next year I wouldn't make it onto a winning team. Then again, maybe that's not what it takes to be a winner.
Still at 3, you're out.
As a kid, this episode had me obsessed with slushies. And I know that's a weird thing to say, but just because of how delicious they made the Lazarus orange drink look.
An orange Lazarus? How come it's not on the menu?
It shouldn't even be on this earth.
They also made brain freeze seem like a serious medical condition, which, honestly, is like the most Pete and Pete thing ever.
The Slush Shack had a deal with the league. In exchange for their billboard,
But somehow, the legendary Slush Shack is still standing.
You weren't even clay. You were like a handful of silt. But I took that silt and I molded it into mine.
It wasn't fair. All I'd ever dreamed of was winning. Finally, I was getting what I wanted, only I didn't want it anymore. Not this way. Baseball deserved better. But what could I do to save it? The game I love. Baseball. Unfortunately, my love of the game had never translated into a winning record.
Next up was a quick stop to the South Orange train station, And that brought us the setting of the episode X equals Y, where Pete says goodbye to his teacher, Mrs. Fingerwood. It's not one that I remember vividly. I was always more into the kid-centric and Artie episodes, and truth be told, I kind of considered Artie one of the kids anyway. While filming, a nice local woman recognized what I was doing and happily joined in for the moment. I'm not recording you! I'm not recording you! Then came On Golden Pete.
You got that right.
Filmed at a lakeside campground. The area still feels the same. I think locations like this kind of never change and will always have this classic look to them. The trading post where Pete was hung upside down is still there. Painted a little differently, but unmistakable. When I visited, it was winter turning into spring, so it didn't quite look as lush as it did on the show, but it still had that small town nostalgia feel to it.
This is the Wellsville Municipal Pool. It opens every year on the first day of summer. It closes just after Labor Day. And in between lies paradise.
Next was the Orange Avenue Pool, where things have, aged interestingly. The water's not exactly inviting, though the geese seem to love it. The big diving board's gone now, but it's replaced by a fun-looking slide, so maybe an upgrade. The iconic Krebs Star lifeguard chair from the show has also vanished. I'm guessing that was just a prop.
No!
From there, it was off to St. Mary's School, used in the episode Road Warrior. This is where Pete and Ellen learned to drive. The brickwork and architecture give it that timeless, any school, anywhere vibe that the series nailed so well. And finally, the last stop. The final Wrigley House, used in season 3. After moving locations every season, this was the one that closed out the series. The backyard garage is still standing, and the house itself looks surprisingly close to how it appeared in the 90s, with a few modern touches. Like most Pete and Pete filming spots, it's tucked into a quiet, unassuming neighborhood, the kind of place you'd never guess held a piece of Nickelodeon TV history. And that feels fitting. The show was never about big sets or famous landmarks. It was about finding the magic in the everyday. Driving home, it hit me. Maybe Wellsville wasn't a place on a map, but it was everywhere it needed to be. Because somewhere out there, kids are still wearing mismatched socks, daring each other to do impossible things and discovering just how weird and wonderful the world can be. That's Wellsville. And maybe we never really left.
It's mighty strange. You looking happily there.
I bet you ride a Schwinn. Schwinn rider.
I'm getting out of here.
Come back, you eater of cheeses.